Hello, Gary Simon of DesignCourse.com. Today is February 14th, and we're going to finish up the protein product display in Blender. And we're going to get started in Adobe Photoshop by getting the actual label designed, and then we're going to get it all looking good and ready to go in Blender. All right, so check out DesignCourse.com, and if you haven't yet, subscribe here on YouTube. All right, let's get started. All right, so this is what we were left with. And basically, you know, if we go here to rendered, we see it just looks like clay. All right, so what we want to do, now basically, you know, I'm still a newbie when it comes to Blender. I've only been learning this for like 2 months, but I've learned a lot through different video tutorials online and stuff. And Andrew Kramer, did I say Kramer? That's the Video Copilot guy. No, Andrew Price of BlenderGuru.com. He put out a video recently about how to make an airplane in Blender, and I learned how to do some UV unwrapping with his method. So basically, we're in Cycles Render now. We want to change here to Blender Render, and let me real quickly just change here to Solid. And the importance of doing this is just for the UV unwrapping portion. So basically what we want to do, right now we're in object mode. Make sure this is selected, and we'll tab into edit mode. And right now we're in the perspective mode, so let's hit 5 to get into orthographic. Hit 1, and we'll zoom up here. All right, so basically what we want to do is take here and switch to face mode, and we want to select only these faces. So right now, because we have this option selected, limit selection to visible, basically we want to uncheck that. I want to hit A first just to make sure nothing else is selected, A again, and then hit B as in boy, and select those, and that way it's only going to select the visible portion. Real quick, I'm going to hide this plane in the back. So come over here, hide that, and then oh yeah, if you hit 1 and then you hit Control 1, it'll give you the back portion of it. And then hit B again. And then just come over here, make sure it got everything on the sides. All right, so now that only those faces are selected, we want to separate them. So the way we do that is hit P and just select Selection. So now it is its own object. All right, and the reason I did that is I was playing around with this tutorial before, and when I didn't separate them and I tried to do the UV unwrapping and I applied the label, it did not line up correctly. And so maybe someone can let me know why the hell it was doing it. I tried so many times trying to fix it, but basically separating it and then going back into edit mode with that selected basically gives us every piece of UV that we need. Just by hitting A. So we'll hit 1 here. We're going to drag this out, just left click and drag to split the window, and we'll bring up the UV image editor over here. And what I want to do is go to image, new image, and then you can name it whatever you want. The width we're going to put in, we're going to leave 1024 and then just put times 4. And that automatically does some math there for you. So the width is going to be obviously a lot wider than the height is, or whatever, proportionally speaking, because this is going to be just kind of taken out, and the label realistically would look like this. So if you hit U over here, and we type in, or not type, but we select cylinder projection, and we see it comes over here. Hit A to select all, hit S, and then to scale on the X-axis, hit X. And we want to go just right around there. It doesn't have to fill out the whole thing necessarily. And then we're going to hit G just to get it in there, make sure everything is, nothing's cut off rather. So once you have that, then we can go to UVs, export UV layout. And you can see I did so many stupid exports. I'm just going to call this label, export, and make sure, if we come down here, make sure all UVs is selected, and PNG is selected, and the fill opacity is 25%. So export UV layout. All right, and I switched over, I paused it temporarily, and opened up that label export.png in Photoshop. You can use any other graphics editor if you wish. It doesn't have to be Photoshop. And so this is what we're presented with by default. We can see, you know, the UV layout right here. It's at 25% opacity on layer 0. Control-Shift-N to create a new layer. Hit OK, and we'll just fill this in with a white color. And let's see here. Oh, and the reason we see that is because I had the grid on. I thought those were the UVs. All right. All right, so now we could see, the UVs basically. So what you want to do now is open up and download the project files from designcourse.com. And you don't necessarily have to use my logo, but this is the one I'm using. So I've already opened it up. I've been in my clipboard basically. So Control V, and then I hit Control T, and then rotating it, holding Shift, right around there is good. And we can get rid of this temporarily, and we'll just put it over here to the side, and we'll get some type going here. I just typed in design course, got to make that bigger. All right, apply. Maybe we'll use Bebas. Or Bebas or Babus. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but basically it's a free font, and it will work well for this intended effect here. All right, let's see here. And I'm going to take out over here, the character panel. Yeah. You know what? I don't really like this font. It's kind of like crappy right here. The letter spacing is all off. We'll just go, most people have this, ships with Photoshop, so we'll use this. We'll use bold condensed. All right. As you can see, I did not really get to the full label design before doing this. I'm kind of just winging it right now. So let's also go ahead. I'll take that and duplicate it. And you can right-click to duplicate it. And I set up a hotkey, Control-Shift-D, just for quickly duplicating things. And Control-T. Design on steroids. Okay. And we'll come back over here and make this yeah, something like that's fine. Slightly darker. All right, let me zoom out here. All right, so to really make a design kind of just, or a label, really make the 3D, make it look impressive, the label itself needs to be impressive. So usually what you find on a, whether it be a protein container or some type of pre-workout supplement container, there's a lot of different, you know, you have your label, you have your nutritional facts. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that intricate, because it's I mean, that's something you can do yourself really, but I am going to try to add just some filler text in different areas that will try to make it look, or at least slightly resemble, what a protein or pre-workout supplement would look like. So I'm just going to take the rectangle tool, hold an Alt, I'll go right around there, and we'll get rid of the fill, or you could do that up there as well, and then we'll give it a stroke. Let's just use that for now, and then get the stroke width up. And all right, that looks good. And I'm going to bring up a website real quick. It's off my screen. Or Ipsum generator. Basically, let me bring this thing here into view. It's called lipsum.com. You can just grab the text, copy it real quick. And then with the type tool, hit Control H twice. Go ahead and just left click and drag out right around there. Paste in our text. And let's get up 100%. Control 1. You can use your space bar. And left click to pan the view. Let's see here, 18. I'm not really sure if I want. Yeah, that might be better. We'll make the font size. We'll try 25. All right. So let me now also just to zoom out without using this tool. All you have to do is just hold Alt in your middle in your scroll wheel. All right. I'm just going to take different parts of this and just keep on copying and pasting it. Well, I can take the whole thing, really. Just to make it look a little bit different in areas. All right, and what else could I put? I'll take that logo again. And unfortunately, it's not saved. So let me see here. I'll open up my logo off screen real quick. Come on, hard drive. Stop being slow. Okay. I will leave it at 300. Paste that in. Control T. Maybe we'll copy a little bit more text. All right, so we have a couple more areas that we can fill up possibly. Let's see here. Also, I might want to add some more color. So let me think about how I would want to do that. We could take this layer right there and double click the right side of it to bring up layer styles and see about giving it a gradient overlay. So we'll take the presets. Maybe like that. All right. Okay, so I need to really think about what else I want to add here. And one thing, let me bring this back. If we zoom up here, I guess that's fine. I wanted to make sure that this did not go, over these UVs. It doesn't look like it is, so I may want to just scale that in slightly. If I take, nope, not that. You can lock this layer so we don't select it. With auto select layer on the move tool selected, we can hit rectangle 1, Control T, just bring it in a little bit, holding Shift and Alt. All right, that's better. And I think over here, I'm just going to, let me zoom out here. Take that text and just put something like, oh man, does that even make sense? All right, yeah, I guess it makes sense in the context of a supplement. So let me get this out. Try, no, obviously it has to be a lot. And 120 is not enough. 160. All right, that's better. Maybe we'll make this black. All right, we're just about done. I think, we get the point. And just for the heck of it, I'll copy this again. just because I want the whole thing to be filled out. We'll make this like a watermark one over here. So we will go to luminosity, take the opacity down, and maybe right around there. All right, and that is our unimpressive label. So now what we want to do is just save this. So if you Control Alt Shift and whatever else, or just go to File, Save for Web. We have a massive image here, PNG 24. Just save this and call this what's called this label 1. All right, now we'll switch back to Blender. We'll go change this to Cycles Render. Come over here, change this to Node Editor. We'll tab into Object Mode over here with this still selected. We'll go to New over here, and then this shows up. And we'll change this to a gloss. Where am I at? Right here. So from diffuse, we're going to change to glossy. Come over here, hit Shift A to add a glossy. No. What am I doing? Shift A to add a image texture. Just connect these two right there. What am I doing? Come on. There we go. And we'll open up our label 1. And watch it not work. I'm just going to guarantee it's not going to work. Here we go. That's just been my luck lately. Rendered. Let's see here. Let me get rid of this plane for a second. Wait, it already is. Let me hit 5 to get into perspective mode. And let me pull this over real quick. Well, for 1 second. First, I want to take this roughness. Yeah. So we have the roughness is 0.2. Let's take this and left click drag it over just so we get a better view of what this thing looks like. All right. Ooh, it does kind of end right there. So what we would do in that case is I would just come over back to Photoshop and try to just probably move everything over a little bit, or make this smaller. But I'm not going to worry about that. We're not going to see that backside for now. So cool. So you can get real close because we have a pretty high resolution image. All right. We bring back our plane. All right, so now what I want to do is we're going to click this just to get, well, probably we can go to material mode. We want to select this, yeah, the one that we separated it from, and just change, we'll give it the same material. So just pull down, click there, and then we still won't see anything outside of it, but it will still give the same material at least. And then we'll take this lid, create a new texture. We'll make it a mix shader. And take the first shader and give it a diffuse, and then the next one will be glossy. All right. And I like to just go here to render just to see what it looks like currently. So you can see it's glossy. It has a mix of diffuse and you know, the glossy texture. I want it to be like a black, so we'll change the colors here. And let's see, I had an issue with my hard drive in the recording program saying I didn't have enough space. Anyhow, so let's see here. And then you could play with this FAC value just to see how this works. All right, so what I want to do now, I'm just going to leave it right around there for just for now, is duplicate these. So let's go ahead into material mode, and I'm going to select everything here. So I'm holding shift. I got those two selected. All right, so we have 3 different objects selected, and we want to duplicate them. So shift D, we'll hit X first, and then we'll hit G and then Y. And, you know, we can just pull things around a little bit and look around in our scene. We don't want them actually touching or going into each other. But we want to set up just kind of a, for our final shot, basically. So what I want to do is everything's still selected. We can hit R to rotate this on the Z axis, just to give like a different view slightly of what this thing looks like. And then we will duplicate once again, Shift D. I'm just going to hit X and RZ. Yeah, right around there. And I want to take the lid. Oops, not that one. Take the lid and just pull it, lift it off. And I'm going to hit 5 real quick just to get in ortho mode, and then hit 7. And I'm going to move this off. I'm going to hit 1. Move this down over here. I'm going to hit R. And I'm just kind of moving it into place here. All right, so it's hit 5 again. All right. Cool. All right, so let me go ahead and hit rendered. And so that has that kind of like, you know, the twisty part, and this does actually look like a lid, fortunately. If you hit G, we do have it selected, and then Z, we can move this down slightly if yours wasn't touching. And let me see here, make sure everything is looking good. Let me go over here to solid real quick. Yeah, subdivisions are 3. All right, so let me go ahead to rendered. And if we wanted a final shot of this, what we can do is just go ahead and let me set up our camera. If you hit 0 on your number pad, that'll give you the actual camera view. So let us hit the letter N as in nose. Choose lock camera to view, hit N again to get it, that little thing off of the toolbar. And now we can move around and kind of get things set up here. All right. Oops, let's go back. All right, and I think that looks pretty good right there. And let me go to our render. Now I already have some options set up here. For a final render, you know, you wanted to go, definitely want to go higher, so I'm going to put it at 1,000 on mine. And what else do I want to do? Let me go to performance, change the tiles to 256. All right. All right, so now over here, the resolution, I'm going to change to 1280 by 720. Let me move this down a little bit. Yeah, right around there. And then I'm going to change that 50 to 100. All right, so now it's ready to render. So I'll just click render. And I will pause this until it's finished. All right, and this is it. So, yeah, it looks pretty good to me. So now if you wanted to save this, just hit F3 and just go ahead and save this. Final view. You can use PNG, JPEG, whatever you want. I'm just going to save that. And that is it. So check out designcourse.com if you haven't yet. Today, oh man, the last week I've been just recording so many different videos outside of the daily videos for my first product. And that is going to be VisID, which is the Visual Identity Design Course.